Another weekend of games in Eurobasket prep. Franz Wagner continues to struggle to shoot. Is it time to worry? Today on Locked On Magic.
You are Locked On Magic, your daily Orlando Magic podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
And you are indeed Locked On Magic. Today is August 17th. It will be August 18th, 2025. My name is Philip Rossman. I'm the senior writer over at OrlandoMagicDaily.com, credentialed member of the Orlando Magic media since the 2012 season. I've seen a lot of bad offense. On today's episode of Locked On Magic, Franz Wagner continues to put up impressive scoring numbers for Germany as they begin to prepare for Eurobasket, just 2 weeks away until the big tournament. But the shot is not following. Is it time to worry? We'll get to that. Plus, Tristan da Silva makes his mark, and we'll check in on Goga Bitadze, who is starting to make a comeback. We'll get to all that coming up here in just a moment. But first, we want to thank you again for making Locked On Magic part of your day every day, no matter when you listen to us, whether it's first thing in the morning, whether it's right when we upload. We truly appreciate you making Locked On Magic part of your day every day. We truly appreciate all of our Orlando Magic dailies who make Locked On Magic part of their day 5 days a week. Get in the habit now. This is the season to jump on the bandwagon. Get in the habit now. Listen to Locked On Magic every single time we post. We'll be going 5 days a week, starting at the beginning of September. Still going 5 days a week here in August somehow. Plenty still to talk about with the Orlando Magic. We got some fun shows planned for you coming up. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode of Locked On Magic is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Franz Wagner is a very good basketball player. Let's start there. Let's just start there. Franz Wagner is very good at basketball. And so while we're going to talk about his struggles, I want to make this clear. Through 4 exhibition games, which take them for what they're worth, who knows if they're worth anything, through 4 exhibition games, Franz Wagner has done all the things that we have come to know and love about Franz Wagner. He has driven the ball, got to the basket, finished around the rim, hit mid-range jumpers, defended pretty well. It's preseason. I'm not going to go crazy about that. He has done all the things we expect. Indeed, he has added to his game. With Germany being a much smaller team, and we'll talk about context throughout this episode as well, the Germany being a much smaller team, Franz Wagner is being asked to set screens and roll. And he is using that to get better at post-ups. He is sealing. He is getting the ball in the mid-post and finding different ways to score. I want to make this clear before we spend the next 5-6 minutes talking about what Franz Wagner isn't doing and why that's important to say. Franz Wagner is still everything the Magic saw from him last year and still so much more. In the game on Saturday against Serbia, which was Germany's first loss, we'll talk a little bit about where Germany is going to struggle in this tournament. Franz Wagner had his best overall game. 26 points, a game high in a game with Nikola Jokic, but Jokic was on cruise control. Shooting 8 for 17. However, he shot 2 for 9 from 3. That brought him to 3 for 18 from 3 for this exhibition run. These 4 games, just preseason games, these 4 preseason games, Franz Wagner is shooting 3 for 18. That's not good. The results are not there. And for all the excitement, for all the anticipation, for everything the Magic believe Franz Wagner can be, 3-point shooting is pretty darn important. It is the one thing that has vexed everybody when we've talked about Franz Wagner's game. It is the one thing that has been confusing, has been just unable to piece together. Franz has done everything else well. He really has. He had 17 points against Turkey on Friday in a come-from-behind victory, a game where, again, Germany's flaws are being exposed a little bit. They're missing Mo Wagner a ton. Franz is doing everything well except making shots. Let's make this clear. Franz clearly has worked on his shot. The results just aren't following quite yet. that hitch that bugged everybody throughout the end of last season as he came back from his oblique, that hitch is gone. His motion is fluid. He's shooting confidently. He's looking for threes. He's doing the step back three that he's very, very comfortable with. We've seen highlights of him comfortably taking those threes. But they're not going in. It's still frustrating because Franz is going to take 5 threes per game. That's not going to change. And he's got to make 1 or 2 of them per game to make it worth it. He's got to make more than one. He's got to make 1.5, 1.7 of those per game. If he's going to shoot at volume, he can't be a sub 30% three-point shooter. And while we have seen plenty of progress, while we've seen him take steps, the fact that he shot 29.3% on catch and shoot threes last year and 28.1% after his injury, the fact that he is still taking a lot of these step back threes, these pull up threes that are low percentage, he was in the low 30s with last year as well. If he's going to take these shots, he's got to make them. So the question ultimately is it time to panic? Is 3 for 18 a reason to panic? 2 for 9 in Saturday's game. Is that a reason to panic? No, I don't think it is. These games don't count. They are exhibition games. They are not anything. They're a sign of things for sure. Franz shot well in Eurobasket 4 years ago and then came back and shot 36.1% from 3 in the 2023 season. In the 2023 World Cup, he was just 6 for 24 from 3, shot 28.1%. Last year at the Olympics, he shot 7 for 35. That's 20%. It is indeed a preview of how he's going to shoot this year, but the tournament hasn't started yet. And the shots that Franz is going to get with the German national team are not the shots he's going to get with the Magic. The fact of the matter is, Germany is not the same team that they have been over the last few years. This is a smaller team. Johannes Thiemann is the backup center. He started at center against Nikola Jokic on Saturday. Franz is playing a mix of post-ups and the typical kind of pick and roll stuff that we see from him. What we haven't seen from Franz is taking spot up threes, catch and shoot threes, and getting open threes. Franz loves that little one dribble step back move. That's probably not going to go away. And if he's going to do that move, he's got to make shots. And look, I would say of the 18 attempts he's gotten, probably 10 of them are that step back three. And I'd probably say he's 2 of 10 on those. So I'm not sitting here saying like everything's okay. If this is all the data we get, I'm concerned for Franz Wagner. And again, like he'll still be effective without a shot, but the Magic as a team won't take that next step. But we haven't seen him get quality three-point looks. That's just not how this German team is built. Dennis Schroeder is playing like bad Dennis Schroeder right now, and certainly played like bad Dennis Schroeder in the game on Saturday in Germany's loss. Baudo Low played his first game back from injury. Don't really have the playmaking and point guards. Franz has the ball in his hands a lot. And so he's either setting screens or playing as the lead ball handler. He's not really a floor spacer, although he's been in the corner and he's been there if Germany could have the playmaking to get him the shot. This is the ultimate question. This is the ultimate mystery that we were going to see throughout this Eurobasket run. Whether Franz was ready to take that step. Whether Franz was ready to elevate his offensive game. And again, I want to repeat, Franz Wagner is very good at basketball. Franz Wagner is still playing extraordinarily well. He is still pouring in points and doing everything that we're used to seeing him do. But the shooting struggles continue. And without improved shooting, the Magic's ceiling is just that much lower. There's still time. There's still real games. There's still a tournament to go. We still got 4 more weeks of Franz Wagner playing basketball. And then training camp starts in 6 weeks. We're almost there, kids. Franz still has time to turn things around. And hopefully, like, I would honestly say this, Franz's defense hadn't been impressive in these exhibition games. That's fine. They're exhibition games. This is like preseason. Franz still can show us what he can do. If he continues to struggle when the tournament starts in a few weeks, then I don't think panic's the right word, but we'll have to adjust. Something to keep an eye on. Germany will play Spain this Thursday. And I believe that first game is in Spain. Franz Wagner obviously isn't the only one showing out for Germany. Let's talk about Tristan da Silva and his run, why he has made his mark, coming up here in just a moment. But first, today's episode of Locked On Magic is brought to you by friends over at FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day. That is 1 week from Tuesday. A brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. FanDuel has so many great futures offers in the NFL to get you ready for the NFL season. Whether you're taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to shock everybody and win the Super Bowl, they're currently going at plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl. How about I don't know if I can see NFC. If you're betting on the Jacksonville Jaguars to make the playoffs, how about that? The Jacksonville Jaguars to make the playoffs, it's only plus 172. Plus 172 for Jacksonville to make the playoffs. That's crazy. That's crazy. Or if you think the Miami Dolphins are finally going to do something this year and want to take their over-under at 3.5 wins, that seems like an easy bet. Easy money. Over 3.5 wins is minus 1,600. You can do over 4.5 wins at minus 700. Of course, 3.5 wins is 1,600. Over 5.5 wins is minus 330 over on FanDuel right now. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is 1 day and 1 day only. FanDuel, play your game. Franz Wagner is not the only guy that we are watching, and not the only guy that has a lot of intrigue in the way that he's playing for the German national team. I will admit, when Tristan da Silva was named to the roster, I was a bit surprised. I thought he was still a year away. I thought he'd be a shoo-in for the World Cup in 2 years. But, I thought Tristan da Silva wanted maybe another summer to kind of keep working on his game in solitude alone and get himself ready for a big season. And I just thought the German national team is just really a veteran team. They know who they are. This is a big tournament for them. They get the summer off next year. I felt like this was going to be kind of a last hurrah for some guys instead of that. No, instead Tristan da Silva is on the roster and he is playing meaningful minutes for Germany. And that creates, that's just fascinating. We saw da Silva dominate Summer League, and that's Summer League. We expected da Silva to do fine in Summer League. This is playing for the national team. This is playing in a specified role in a team trying to win. And for the Magic, who, by the way, Randy Gregory, one of the Orlando Magic's assistant coaches, is on Alex Mumbrew's staff working with the German national team. This is Tristan da Silva showing us exactly who he's going to be for the Magic this summer or this year. The Magic are going to ask from Tristan da Silva the same things the national team is asking. Defend your spot, attack when you can, make open threes. And so while we are all concerned about Franz Wagner's three-point shot, and I think we should be to some extent, although not panicking, Tristan da Silva has delivered everything that the German national team could ask for and more. On Saturday against Serbia, da Silva turned in his best game of the exhibition run, scoring 12 of his 14 points in the first half. He finished the game making 5 of 6 field goals. He made all 5 of his shots in the first half and 2 of 3 from 3. Da Silva, over the course of these 4 games, is averaging 7.5 points per game and shooting 10 for 24 from the floor and 6 for 13 from deep. 6 for 13. That is a 54.2% effective field goal percentage. He was very, very key in helping them keep that game against Serbia on Saturday pretty tight. And very big in helping them beat Slovenia in that second game that Luka Doncic did not play in. Da Silva, in other words, has done exactly what the Magic want him to do. He has fit in. This is exactly why the Magic drafted him. They drafted him because they saw a player who wasn't ever going to play beyond himself. They saw a veteran guy who understood his talents, his skills, and what he could bring to the team, and simply delivers that. Last year, Da Silva was critical to the team. When the Magic suffered all those early season injuries, Da Silva slipped into the starting lineup and didn't rock the boat, didn't change anything. He just played solid. Now, his best games were when he hit multiple threes, when he could hit threes. Now, that all tailed off, whether it was the rookie wall, whether it was just the Magic needed someone who could do a little bit more. Whatever the case may be, Da Silva only shot, 33% from three last year, 34% from three last year, which for the Magic was pretty good. But he ended up being completely out of the rotation. He played only 5 minutes in the playoffs across 2 games. Very, very limited action in the playoffs. So just not enough from the Magic at that point. Obviously, though, the Magic are expecting some bigger things. If you look at the Magic's rotation and the Magic's depth chart, they need Tristan da Silva. They do. Quite simply, they need Tristan da Silva. He is, again, you look at the depth chart. Just if the Magic go 10 deep like they normally do, Suggs, Bane, Paolo, Franz, Carter are your starters. Coming off the bench, you got Tyus Jones, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, Goga Bitadze, or Mo Wagner. And then you got that spot at the 3 that's wide open. That's probably Tristan da Silva. And so the fact that Tristan da Silva has been able to show his defensive versatility, he took some turns guarding Nikola Jokic on Saturday. That did not quite work out, but he did get a steal on Jokic. And his ability to spread the floor and not get in the way. It's so vital to what the Magic are trying to do and what the Magic need from their second-year forward. Like during Summer League, though, Da Silva is trying to be more aggressive. The Magic want him to be more aggressive. I'm sure Germany is happy to see him be more aggressive. The Magic need him to be more than just a spot-up shooter. He has to be willing to attack closeouts when they come to him. And that's where he is getting more comfortable, but still needs improvement. He'll still drive himself into traps. Teams will still swipe down on him. He'll get stuck, pick up the ball, and not really know where to go. I wouldn't say he has much passing off the dribble, but if he can get a straight line to the basket, he'll score. Otherwise, you need to keep his reads really simple and keep his responsibilities and decision-making really simple. But at the end of the day, if Da Silva's making threes, he is extremely valuable because he is a smart player with a high basketball IQ that isn't going to do more than what he's capable of. And like Wagner, I want to see what this all looks like during the tournament itself. I do anticipate that Da Silva will make the team. I do anticipate that Da Silva will be in the rotation. There's nothing to suggest otherwise. And he has had a really, really strong showing for Germany so far. Like I mentioned, these games have shown that Germany is not the same team that they have been over the last 3 summers. They're a little bit short on depth at big. Both Alperen Şengün and Nikola Jokic, and to some extent Nikola Jovic, and to some extent Alex Milutnov, all gave Germany a lot of problems on the interior. Like Germany, like Franz Wagner is playing the 4, and he's played the 4 before, but he hasn't played like power forward. He's played the 4, the stretch 4, not power forward. Franz has been in a weird defensive spot throughout this tournament, throughout these exhibition games. And with Daniel Theis in and out of the lineup so far, Daniel Theis has played only 1 game of these 4. Germany's got their work cut out for them. This is not going to be some easy walk to the final or to a medal for Germany. This is going to be a really tough tournament for Germany overall, I think. But the good news is they have Franz Wagner, who's very, very good, even if he can't shoot. And Tristan da Silva has given them a good youthful boost so far in these exhibition games. We may not have the same level of statistical detail. We may not have all the stats, but some good news with Goga Bitadze by showing signs that he has shaken off whatever he was struggling with last year. We'll get to that coming up here in just a moment. If you listened to my podcast with Locked On Fantasy Basketball, which, by the way, go listen to my podcast with Josh Lloyd of Locked On Fantasy Basketball. We did the whole episode talking about the Magic, previewing their upcoming season. If you listen to that episode, you know there's a lot of fantasy people who are very confused why Goga Bitadze does not play. And look, there's maybe a lot of Magic fans that are confused why Goga Bitadze does not play. And again, I'll say this. Goga Bitadze should be in the rotation, should be in a rotation somewhere. I'm still very puzzled why he chose to stay in Orlando, knowing that he wasn't going to get consistent playing time. This guy has earned consistent playing time. I think he's going to be one of the big potential gets at the trade deadline this year. He is a luxury for this Magic team. He is an extreme luxury for this team. And again, we'll see. His availability probably depends on how good Mo Wagner is when he comes back. But Goga Bitadze has been very, very good. I want to make this very, very clear. Last year was a career season for Goga Bitadze in almost every way. 7.2 points per game was a career high. 6.6 rebounds per game was a career high. 2 assists per game was a career high. 1.4 blocks per game was a career high. Even 70 games was a career high. Even 42 starts was a career high. He shot 61.1% from the floor, a career high. 2.4 offensive rebounds per game, a career high. It was a great season for Goga Bitadze. It was also a frustrating season because while the Magic were down Mo Wagner at the end of the season, Goga Bitadze's play just tipped off or just like tailed off in an extreme way. In January, he suffered a concussion and had to miss a couple weeks. He missed, missed 2 weeks with this concussion. In the final 34 games of the season, the final 34 games that he played, he sat out one. Over the final 34 games of the season, he averaged only 16.1 minutes per game. So his minutes tailed off. But he averaged only 4.6 points per game and 4.9 rebounds per game. Now, part of that is his minutes tailed off. But he was not nearly as effective nor as trustworthy defensively as he showed earlier in the season. And by the end, in the playoffs, he was out of the rotation. Just did not play at all. And nobody's quite sure what happened. If that's just how the Magic tightened the rotations. Like Jonathan Isaac wasn't exactly an offensive stalwart, wasn't even as good defensively last year, but the Magic trusted him a lot more. At the end of the day, what Goga Bitadze is good for and what he's in the lineup to do is to gobble up offensive rebounds, score putbacks, and just put the Magic in the best position they can be in. And just kind of dig out these extra possessions and just be a solid defender. He is the Magic's second best shot blocker behind Jonathan Isaac. He's a solid shot blocker. He's a good roller and pick and rolls. He just finds himself in the paint and just plays hard. Whatever he does not do with precision, he does with effort. And toward the end of last season, that effort wasn't making up for the lack of precision. Again, I'm not sitting here saying he didn't play hard. He played hard. It just wasn't precise. It wasn't the way the Magic needed it. And again, he fell out of the rotation. So what the Magic need to see from him is that he's bounced back to these ways where he's just going to gobble up points and gobble up stats and gobble up all those counting stats that fantasy people love playing for his national team. Unlike other players, again, for whatever reason, this is no disrespect to Georgie Shermadini, Goga Bitadze comes off the bench. And what we've seen from Georgia in their exhibition prep games is Goga Bitadze put up points and put up scores that look like what he'll do with the Magic. In 15, 16, 17 minutes, getting 8-9 points, 8-9 rebounds. If Goga Bitadze's rebounds match his points, and as long as they're above like 5, that means he's doing something right. Yes, he's started to try and take some threes again. And last game he went 1 for 2, I believe it was against Poland. But really, what I want to see is Goga get back to being Goga. And so to see him get 2-3 offensive rebounds per game, to see him up 6, 7, 8 rebounds coming off the bench, 8, 9, 10 points, averaging near double doubles coming off the bench, that's the kind of effort and energy that we want to see from Goga Bitadze. Now, I can't speak directly because I have not watched any of these games. These games have not been on TV. Georgia's basketball website is a mess. Finding information is very, very hard. So I'm trying to give you the best information that I can that from what I have seen. But it does feel like, and it does seem like Goga Bitadze is back to being the Goga Bitadze who is pushing for more minutes. And like everything else, the Magic are going to need Goga very early in the season. With Mo Wagner out, the Magic need Goga Bitadze. I don't think they're going to play Jonathan Isaac at center again this year. I think that experiment did not work last year. Goga is going to be vital to help this team get off to the hot start that they need to get off to this year, that they need to set the tone for this season. And so to see Goga Bitadze doing all of this is ultimately a very good sign. That's going to do it for me today, though. I want to thank you all again for listening to today's episode of Locked On Magic. You can, of course, follow me on Twitter at @PhilipRR_OMD and on Blue Sky at PhilipRR. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Himalaya, Google Play, Spotify, Odyssey, and all the formats you download podcasts to your podcast-enabled listening device. You can find us as well on YouTube. Search for Locked On Magic. For the latest on the Orlando Magic, be sure to check out OrlandoMagicDaily.com. You can find us there on Twitter at @OMagicDaily. And for even more Orlando Magic content, be sure to check out my Patreon page, Orlando Magic Hub, at patreon.com/Orlando Magic Hub. I'm trying to break down the schedule in little snippets there. So again, check that out at patreon.com/Orlando Magic Hub. As always, thank you for your support. Now that you're done listening to me, making Locked On Magic your first listen of the day, go make Locked On NBA your second listen of the day, because there is no offseason. Doug, Matt, and Hayes keep you up to date on contract negotiations, rumors, and everything you need to be the most informed NBA fan. Find Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. All part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. That's going to do it for me today, though. I want to thank you all again for listening to today's episode of Locked On Magic. On tomorrow's episode of Locked On Magic, I'm going to finally do the Jalen Suggs episode. Let's talk about why Jalen Suggs could be due for a big season and what the Magic need to see from Jalen Suggs, why he could be so vital to who this team is this season. We'll talk about Jalen Suggs. We got a couple fun shows playing later in the week. We're going to start talking to other people around the league, I think, as well, to start getting ready for the season. Lots still to get to here on Locked On Magic, but that's going to do it for me today. I want to thank you all again for listening to today's episode of Locked On Magic. For Orlando Magic Daily and Locked On Magic, this has been Philip Rossman-Reich. We'll see you all again next time for another episode of Locked On Magic.